Hey babe, so I'm back with another video today. I've actually realised that doing YouTube this way is actually quicker and very easy. I mean, a lot of people will vlog on their camera and then upload it to a computer, spend ages editing it, whereas I literally film and upload. It's that quick, it's that easy, and it's actually so much better than I thought it was going to be. So today I'm doing a Q&A. I can't actually believe just how many people sent me in questions. I mean, there are some that I definitely will not be answering, some that I thought were actually quite good questions, but I definitely have a lot of questions. So if you see me looking down here, it's because I've got them all written down so that I can go through them and answer all the questions. They're very random, they're all over the place, they're not in like categories or anything, it's just me answering some of your questions. So first question, will you get any more pets? My children have both been begging Rhys and I for a new fluffy kitten. I would do it. I mean, we have a cat and a litter tray and a cat bowl anyway, so it wouldn't make that much of a difference other than just buying, extra cat food. But Rhys has said no because our cat Bella isn't exactly the most friendly cat, especially with other cats. I mean, when she's around Socks, they just hiss and like swipe at each other. So I don't know. He's probably right that he wouldn't like it, but yeah, I don't really know. No, we won't be getting another animal, but unfortunately I wish we could. How did you meet Rhys? So we actually met working together last August, so a year and a half ago. I keep getting really confused about when it happened, but yeah, we met working. As I said in my last video, he is a chef and I'm a waitress. We just got on really well. I mean, I get on well with everyone I work with and all of the chefs in the kitchen, and often we'd go out the back of the shed and have a cigarette break, and he'd be out there and we'd all just be chatting, and we just got on really well. We ended up having a lot of things in common, to do with like our childhood and our past and high school and things like that. So we just got on instantly. Do you get on with his family? I love Rhys's family. His mum and his sister are incredible. I mean, they're so like me. They literally are just exactly like me. Louise rides horses, so we've got that in common. We all play games together. His sister is 18, nearly 19, and she just reminds me of me at that age, in certain ways anyway. Sorry, Liv. His granny and granddad are really, really lovely people. I mean, there's nothing they wouldn't do for us, and we see them a lot when we're not in a national lockdown. Will you do a home tour? Not yet, no. I'm sure you'll see bits and pieces of the house. Obviously, this is my living room. That's my bedroom door. You'll see bits and pieces, but I won't do a full home tour until it's exactly the way I want it. At the moment, we've going into lockdown. We've been living off of like an 80% wage and living in a new house. There's been a lot of things that we've had to pay for, like changing address on driving licence and cancelling bills and paying cancellation fees and that sort of thing. So I've got these god-awful curtains in here that are really not my taste. I still need to put blinds in my bedroom. There's lots of little things that we'd like to do. We'd like to change the carpet in the hallway because although at the minute it's very festive, it's a nice red, but it's not to my taste at all. So yes, I'll do a home tour eventually, but no promises as for how long that will be. Christmas presents, what have I got and what have I bought? I actually think what I'll do is after Christmas, once everything is unwrapped, I will do a what each child got and things like that. So in years to come, I can look back and see what they got for what Christmas is. I mean, Aria's main present at the minute, she's got herself, or she has got coming to herself, she's got 2 of the designer friend dolls and loads of other things. I mean, I could not list everything they've got. They've got a couple of magnetic building blocks. They've got like the Magformer type things. They've got several of the Orchid Toys games, like matching pairs and the shopping list, those sort of things. They've got some clothes, some pyjamas, fluffy socks. That we do a stocking each year. We do a Christmas Eve box each year, as our little like traditions. And also Bear's main present is, oh, he's got the Bosch tool stand and then a big massive tool set, so it comes with like a hard hat and spanners and a toolbox and gloves and all that sort of goggles, everything to do with tools and building and DIY. He's got into that recently, along with other things like dressing gown, pyjamas, loads and loads of other toys. This year I've gone above and beyond with toys. I never ever ever like buying them toys for Christmases and birthdays because we've both got such a huge family. They get toys from every direction, and every 6 months between birthday and Christmas I'm having to change out the toys. Like, we have genuinely had enough toys to stock 4 households in our family from Christmas presents. So I usually buy things they need, like clothes or furniture, bed sets, all that side of things. But this year I've been a top mum and bought them things that I know that they would choose. I've had this quite a lot. Do you want any more babies? Are you going to have any more children? Do you want more children? Answer is, if I could afford it, I probably would have more children. At the moment, we've got a perfect family unit. We've got a boy and a girl. They get on brilliantly, and I can't imagine changing that dynamic at the moment. Although saying that, I watch YouTube videos and I see these women pregnant or having babies and doing all the newborn stuff, and it just makes me so broody. I am a typical girly girl, I'm a typical mum. I love babies, I love children, I love all things in that side of the content for YouTube that people are filming. So yeah, I'd love to, but it's not going to happen for us anytime soon. If I could afford it, I'd love to have 2 or 3 more, but that is not going to happen. We may potentially have 1 more, but like I said, not for a long time yet. Again, any more babies? Where do Aria and Bear live? So I separated from Aria and Bear's daddy last year. They live with me 5 days a week and they go to his every weekend. He is a really good dad. He is very helpful, very supportive. He will help pick them up from school or take them out from McDonald's if I need an hour just to do some housework and things. He is really helpful and he is a good dad. He will have his children every single Saturday and Sunday without fail. He's never let me down, and my kids love their dad, and I'd never say a bad word about him. Do you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. We're really good friends. We get on, and that's all I could want for my children, is parents that are good friends and will get on, for whether it be for the sake of the child or not, but yeah, we just get on. So they are primarily with me 5 days of the week, but then they also see him every single week and sometimes during the week as well. How often will you upload? I have no idea. I mean, as I said at the start of this video, it is very, very easy for me to literally sit here, have a chat, and just upload straight away, because I haven't got to do any of the downloading from the camera to the computer or from the computer to YouTube and editing videos and putting in good thumbnails and all things like that. I mean, maybe in time that will be what I choose to do, but at the moment it's just quick and easy. So I could potentially be doing a video a day or a video every other day. It is very easy. It just depends what content I'm filming or what things I have to say, I guess, and what me and the children are up to. As Christmas draws nearer, we will be doing more festive-y things. My mum and I would love to do a shopping haul, or a vlog of us just going shopping and doing what we love to do. We are massive shopaholics. Will you talk about sex? I have no idea who would want to know, who would want to ask me that question. I mean, I love sex, but whether or not I've got anything to talk about to do with sex, I don't know. I'm not a closed book. I'm not cringy about sex or any of that side of things. But so yeah, if you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. Send in what you want me to talk about. That was a really strange question, but I thought I can't leave that out because it just made me chuckle so much. What's your plans for next year? Just get my house sorted and organised. I'd love to go on a holiday, but whether that will happen or not, we don't know what's going to happen with COVID-19 or any of that side of things. So hopefully a holiday, but the main priority for me is to get this house, bungalow, I keep calling it a house, get this place exactly how we want it. How's your back? Okay, not many people... Well, if you're on my Facebook, you'll know I actually fractured my spine 2 weeks ago tomorrow. It has been agony. I spent 6 hours in a neck collar and the puffy things. I mean, if you're on my Facebook, you'll have seen the photos. It was awful. I literally just got bucked off. It wasn't anything dramatic. My horse Jessie, we were just walking along a field and she suddenly just freaked out over nothing. There was no signs that it was coming. I had no idea I needed to hold on tight, or I just went flying over the front of her and landed beneath her breast. So it was fine. Like, I got straight back on her afterwards, but Jessie suddenly went lame. So we just walked her back to the stables in hand, and it was actually my friend who made me go to the A&E to get checked out, and they found that I not only had concussion and whiplash, but I had fractured a vertebrae of my spine, kind of where my bra back goes, back of my bra, whatever, kind of where that goes. Last week I literally laid in bed all week. I didn't do anything. I haven't been able to take my children to school for the last 2 weeks. Haven't been able to drive. I am able to drive as of tomorrow, but I'm feeling very anxious. But at the moment, painkillers are working tremendously, and I'm doing fine. Just, it is what it is. Get fed up at home, obviously. How have you found lockdown in the year 2020? I'm a unique person, and I can honestly say that although it's been crap not doing the regular things, I've actually really enjoyed this year. It's been a major opportunity for Rhys and I to get to know each other properly, because we haven't had the work in between, or our friends gossiping and saying things, and it's solely been between us and lockdown. And I think, honestly, if you can get on with your partner in lockdown, then there's nothing you can't get through, because you're with that person 24 hours a day for, what was our first lockdown, 3 or 4 months? Like, it's a long period of time. And if you think that first period of the relationship, the honeymoon period, usually doesn't last that long, because you're busy working or doing things with friends or not managing to see each other all the time. But because we were in a lockdown, firstly, we couldn't see each other for part of it, because obviously we were separate houses. And then when he moved in, we were then together solely. So we were talking all day, every day on FaceTime with his mum, playing games or watching films together, but over FaceTime. It was a very unique opportunity to be focusing on my relationship and on the new part of the relationship. And I'm really grateful for it. I really am. I don't think in any other aspect of my life I would have been able to have that type of relationship from beginning to how it is now. So no, 2020, although it's been very unique to say the least, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed lockdown. I've enjoyed having Rhys at home, because, as I say, he's a chef. He works God knows how many hours. He works 12 hours a day, 5 days a week, sometimes extra, covering shifts. Even in lockdown, he was still working, doing takeaways and things, but it just gave us an opportunity to have a little bit more time together as a partnership, as a couple, as a family. I mean, we've been able to do things at home that we probably wouldn't have had the chance to do, because he would have been at work, or the children would have been at school, or so on and so on. What's your plans for Christmas? Christmas this year, again, is going to be unique, like 2020 as a whole. I've got the children Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and then Daddy has them Christmas night and Boxing Day and the day after Boxing Day. So Christmas Eve, we've got our little bubble. We're all going to be around here. We're having party food. We're going to play games, have a few drinks, get the kids involved with some festive merriment, whatever you want to call it. We're going to make reindeer food and a gingerbread house and all that. And then when the kids go to bed, it's adult time. We're going to play couples games and rummy and all the things that we love to do, and eat some good food. Christmas Day, we're actually spending at my mum's, again in the same bubble. We're so it's literally next door. We're all under one roof, so we actually count as one household technically. So our bubble is pretty good. So yeah, we're going to be around there on Christmas Day. And then Boxing Day, I actually haven't got a clue what I'm doing Boxing Day. I would like to go to the sales, as I've never done the Boxing Day sales on Boxing Day. So I'll probably meet my mum in the city, as she'll be finishing work, and then we'll go do some sale shopping. Were you ready for children, and were you trying? No, I was not ready. I was not trying. Travis and I had only been together for 5 months when I found out I was pregnant, and I was told I couldn't have children. Again, from yesterday's video, I have a tumour in my head. It made me infertile, so I wasn't on contraception. I never had any accidents or anything. Obviously, from the age of 18 to 20, before I fell pregnant, all those years and all that sex, I never felt pregnant. So it was a massive shock when, and I didn't see it coming. I'd spent a week and a half really poorly. I mean, sickness, diarrhoea, tummy cramps, tiredness, grogginess, angriness, like everything under the sun. And I didn't see it coming. I assumed it was my Crohn's disease. My mum and Travis took me to the doctors back and forth every single day for a full week. Still, we didn't have no answers. They'd decided that they were about to put me on steroids, and that night I went to an out-of-hours ER nurse who gave me an anti-sickness injection, and she said, "Is there any chance you could be pregnant?" And my words were, "No, I'm not able to have children." She said, "Fine." And in the car on the way home, my mum sat there stewing, and I was like, "What is the matter?" My mum turned around and said, "Well, actually, if I think about it, this is exactly how I was when I was pregnant with you. Maybe we should do a test and find out." And I just laughed it off, because as horrendous as it was thinking I was infertile, the less I think about it, the less heartbreak it would be. As such, it was 2 years previous. It is what it is, I guess. And then the next day, again, we went to the doctors, this time to ask for another anti-sickness injection, because the one from the night previous worked amazing and I actually got a good, decent night's sleep. And makes me want to cry. We went to the doctors. My mum and my nanny were actually with me for this appointment, and just before we were about to leave, my mum said, "Can she do a pregnancy test?" And then I went and peed in the little bottle, which wasn't fun. I was so anxious and nervous, even though in my head I was like, "It's not, no way." I was still, I don't know, in that moment you don't know if you want it to be positive or you want it to be negative. For me, not being able to have children, I would have loved to have been, "Oh my God, I'm actually pregnant, I can actually have children." That was an amazing feeling, but at the same time I didn't want to get my hopes up, because I knew that wasn't a possibility. So then I went back into the room with my mum and my nanny, and they done the dipstick. And the doctor, I always see this doctor around and I always remind him of this moment. He turned around and went, "Well, I think we know what's wrong with you. Congratulations, you're having a baby." I instantly burst into tears, my mum burst into tears, and my nanny goes, "Oh no." So yeah, that was how I found out I was pregnant for the very first time. Very much mixed emotions. Travis and I hadn't been together very long. Was I ready to have a baby? I was 20 at that point, I'd be 21 by the time it was born. But solely because of the reason that I was told I couldn't have children. I feel if I'd have got rid of this baby and then found out I could never have another, it would have been the biggest regret of my entire life. So after I realised that, there was never no doubt in my mind what was going to happen next. Whether Travis stayed with me, whether I did it on my own with my family helping, or just solely completely my own decision, I didn't know what was going to happen, but I could not have bared the thought of not having it. Will you do a Q&A with your mum? Yeah, I'll do a Q&A with mum. I'd love to ask her some like my own choice questions, so I think I'll make out like other people have asked them and then actually they're just what I wanted to do. So yeah, that would be pretty fun. I think she's up for being on the channel as much as she can be now that she's back at work. What's your favourite time of the year? Definitely has to be Christmas. I mean, look at me. Look at my lovely big tree. But I am a summer baby and I love the summer. I love wearing, you know, shorts and crop tops, bikinis, having a tan, the smell of sun cream. But this time of the year is just so magical, especially if you're a mum or have got small children in your family. You will know the magic of Christmas is so much better being a mum as well than it was when I was a child. I remember being so excited for Christmas and Christmas Eve and the elves and seeing Santa. But now being the mum, it is as, if not more exciting than when I was a kid. Favourite colour? I love black. I wear a lot of black and white. But as a girly girl, it kind of has to be pink, doesn't it? Favourite day out? Colchester Zoo. #1 happy place in the entire world. I go every single year. And yes, I even went this year when we're in a national lockdown. I actually did manage to go. The first chance I got, I went to Colchester Zoo. Best idea for a date? My ideal date is literally very boring. Dinner and a movie or dinner and a show. Like, I'd be happy with Nando's and to go to the cinema. That's just me all over. Dream job? My dream job. I always grew up wanting to be a paramedic, which is nothing what I ended up doing, of course, but I always wanted to be a paramedic. I grew up watching Casualty in Holby City. Not many people know, but I actually did St John Cadets, so I trained for first aid and emergency first aid treatments. yeah, that would have been my dream job. Now, I don't know what I'd like to do. Maybe like a personal shopper. I think I would be a really good personal shopper. Anyone needs help shopping, I mean, I don't have to pay for it. I'd be up for it. In fact, I'd be getting paid for it, so that would be a win-win. Favourite memory as a child? I don't know, I've got too many to choose from. Probably Colchester as a child. I went every single year for a week from the age of 4 right up till now. I love it. I love going to Lexington Duck Pond, Colchester Zoo, Abberton Nature Reservoir, Clacton Crabbing, or Mersey Beach. Oh, it's so beautiful. I mean, there's so many memories I have in Colchester, and it would be so hard to pick solely just one, all of which included my grandma and granddad. So any of my memories from Colchester growing up are my top memories. My earliest memory, this is also a very slim thing. It was my sister's first birthday, so I was 5 years old. We went to some, I don't know if it was maybe Colchester Zoo or Roxton Barnes or somewhere like that. And I remember my granddad Roy running around trying to pick up a chicken. No idea. I found it hilarious. I have no idea, but that's what I remember. I remember my granddad running around chasing a chicken. I can't imagine him doing that now. Favourite child? Every parent has one, don't lie. Oh my God. Can I say my fur babies? They're the easiest. Nala and Lily, they're my easy children. No, I don't have a favourite. You just kind of have a different relationship with each of them. So with Aria, we're very much girly girls. We like doing our nails together or going to the shops together, snuggling up and watching a movie or having a girly dinner together. It's very much mummy-daughter time. But then I also do the same thing with Bear. We have mummy and son time where he gets to choose what he wants for dinner. Earlier this week, he wanted to have turkey dinosaurs with chips, but then he wanted onion rings as well. And then he wanted not only peas, but peas and beans. And I had to have it as well. So that was what we did. We had that, and we'll play bricks together or dinosaurs together or go and play in the garden with our wellies on. Like, it is very different, the types of things that you do with a son in comparison to a daughter. Ari was an easier child growing up. And Bear's a different kettle of fish. He's a very typical little boy. But no, I can't say I have a favourite unless we're talking about Nala and Lily. What kind of parent are you? How do you answer that? How do I know what kind of parent I am? A shit one, does that count? I'm not very good at it. I try my best, but I always feel like I'm failing. I can never do anything right. I guess I can be strict with things like sweets and fizzy. I don't really allow my children to have too many sweets, too much fizzy. But then they do drink squash as long as it's sugar-free. I don't know what kind of parent I am. I try to be as fun as I can. I try to do after-school activities and reading stories before bed. But you have in your mind this image of the perfect parent you're going to be. And when reality comes knocking, it's never quite how you picture it to be. When they're fighting and arguing, I try my best to see it from both sides and not blame one or the other. My mum always used to tell me off, whether it was me or Whitney who started the fight. I'm determined not to be that parent, but it's so hard when you don't see what's happening. Yeah, I don't know what kind of parent I am. I try my best, and that's all any of us can do. We're all winging it at the end of the day. What's your hobbies? Number one hobby, it has to be spending money, going shopping, whether it be food shopping or party shopping or outfit shopping or clothes shopping or, I don't know, I just love shopping. My favourite thing to do is go down to Lakeside with my mum and blow hundreds of pounds for absolutely no reason on things that I don't actually need, but I love it. Or horse riding. Horse riding is obviously my cheaper hobby, but at the moment that is off the cards because I've fractured my spine. I could now, in theory, go riding. It's been 2 weeks. It should have remodelled to a certain degree for it to be okay, but I don't want to risk hurting myself more, especially with the level of pain I've been feeling just in time for Christmas, that I can't enjoy Christmas Day with my children. So I won't be riding until the new year now. My favourite food? Ooh, I'll probably say anything Italian. Pizzas, pastas, pancakes, ice creams, all that. Love it. Sweets or chocolate? Chocolate through and through. do you follow Mrs. Hinch and will you be doing any cleaning videos? My mum would laugh at this question. Yes, I watch Mrs. Hinch. I love her. I love everything she stands for. She's such a down-to-earth woman and I find it fascinating the amount of cleaning that she does and how she does certain things. I've definitely learnt things from her. But I don't think my mum would appreciate me filming her doing my cleaning because I don't tend to do a lot of cleaning. My mum does it. And she'll find this hilarious. When she watches this, she'll be like, I can't believe you actually admitted that. You usually take the credit yourself. I can't take a lot of credit for the cleaning that goes on in my house, specifically since we've moved here. My mum does an amazing job. Obviously, it's been the run up to Christmas and she's been in lockdown and she's been bored at home and her house is always immaculate, whereas at mine there's always something to do. And in the last 2 weeks, I've hurt myself and not been able to do anything. So she does a lot of hoovering, dusting, washing, tidying up, putting away, changing. Yeah, I can't lie, my mum does a lot of things for me at the moment. I do try, I do my washing up sometimes, but yeah, no, I'm not. I love cleaning, but not when my children are around because you'll do something and they just undo it within seconds. What was Rhys's first impression of you? I can't remember who asked this, but I remember saying, I remember when I asked you what your first impression of me was to him originally. And all I remember is said, he thought I was pretty, but I was very airy-fairy. Now, I've never heard this quote before. An airy-fairy person basically means I'm a ditzy blonde without having blonde hair. I would ask stupid questions. There were certain things, certain foods I couldn't pronounce. I'm not going to mention last year's Christmas fail, but oh, don't even go there. So yeah, there was lots of things that made him think I was airy-fairy. I would trip on a flat floor and I was always falling over. I actually burnt myself very early on when I was working there, and I ended up standing in the kitchen in nothing but my bra and obviously my skirt and my shoes and stuff, but top half, my boobs were out, I'm afraid. Thankfully, he was gracious enough to turn around and walk out of the kitchen without having a sneak peek. What else? Something not many people know about you. Oh, there's several. So obviously I've already said I was told I wasn't able to have children. I did cadets as a teenager, so I trained to do first aid. I got my first aid badge and was able to help out at the Royal Norfolk show. That was a good one. Something people don't know about me. I'll have to have a think about this. Probably should have done it before I started filming, but if not, I'll come back to it. Because what do people not know about me? I don't know. I have no idea. How did I meet my partner? I've already said. Again, I worked with him for a while. My most embarrassing story. Now, I know exactly who asked me this question, and I was actually working with her at the time. So, my most embarrassing story, and this is utterly horrific. As I said, I have Crohn's disease, and I must have been 18, 19 when this occurred, but I was working at New Look. I was at the bus stop, ready and waiting for my bus to come to go in and do my shift in the morning, and I just had this awful stomach ache. I mean, if anyone out there has ever had an enema, that is the best way I can describe what Crohn's disease is like. If you need to go, you need to go. There's no waiting around. There's no questioning it. Over the years, I've helped myself by getting myself like a radar key and a card that actually says I have a medical condition, so you need to let me use your toilet, whether it's for public or not. But yeah, I was standing at the bus stop and I just got this god-awful bellyache, and before I knew it, I had pooped my knickers. Standing at the bus stop as an adult, I was humiliated. The bus pulls up and I've got a split-second decision. Do I run home and change and, sort myself out? Or do I get on the bus? And I just didn't. I just froze. The bus stood there, went, "Are you coming on?" And I just went. So then I'm walking back to my house and I ring my manager, and Carol was amazing. She has always been a big supporter, but oh my God, I think she found it funny, and I was just like, I remember ringing and one of the other managers had answered, and I was like, "No, I'm really sorry, but I need to speak to Carol." There was no one else I was going to tell this secret to. There was no one else I was going to tell, because you have to give a reason why you can't go to work. No one else would have heard that come from my lips other than Carol. And she was like, "All right, Naomi, what's up now?" I was like, "I can't come to work." She was like, "Why?" And I swear to God, as I'm on the phone to her, I'm still pooing my pants, walking back to the house, hoping that it wasn't showing through my jeans or my trousers or whatever I was wearing that day. I know I won't wear a dress because I remember being, thank God for that. And I had to tell my manager at the grand old age of 18 or 19 that I had just in fact shit myself at the bus stop. I said, I've got this stomach ache, I'm not coming in, I'm really sorry, but I'm not coming to work and risking myself shitting my pants on shop floor. So yeah, that was one of the reasons why I didn't go to work that day. But obviously having Crohn's disease has now been quite a few years. I always used to find it really humiliating. I didn't want to leave the house. And over the years I've learned like where toilets are in my local shopping centre, so I know where to get to and from and which shops have toilets that I can use. But yeah, that was, I found that really, really embarrassing for a long time. It's still embarrassing, but I'm not as ashamed to talk about it now because I know that so many people everywhere suffer with Crohn's disease. It isn't just me. Where are you going to be 5 years from now? I'd like to think we're still living here, if not have moved into a 4-bedroom house. So this is a 3-bedroom bungalow, which is perfect for us at the moment. 5 years from now, hopefully maybe engaged to be married, or yeah, like got a new build house with 4 bedrooms, or a baby on the way, or something family orientated, let's face it, something good happened for me and my family. Does Rhys avoid you when you have a period? I don't have periods, so no, he has no reason to avoid me. But if I did have, I can tell you, yes, he probably would. That would be an excuse for him to stay late at work one night. What are Aria and Bear really like in real life? They seem cute on your Instagram. Yes, they do seem cute in photos. Even though Bear's not a massive fan of smiling, he likes to say cheese, and then he's got this big, huge, silly face. Or if he says smile, he'll go mile, but he doesn't actually smile. He'll just shout the word mile. They're really good kids. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to boast. Of course, I am biased. They're my babies, and I love them dearly. Aria's a very typical dainty little girl. She's very small for her age, and Bear's a typical boisterous boy who's quite big for his age. Being a 2 and a 4-year-old, they get on amazingly unless one steals the other's toy, and then it's just World War III. They're running around screaming the worst high-pitched scream you could ever imagine, and it just doesn't stop. Now that they have their own bedrooms, when they do things like that, I can separate them, which is a massive, massive help now. Whereas before they shared a bedroom, it was kind of like I wanted to bang their heads together and run out the door. But no, they're really, really good kids. Bear's getting better as he gets a bit older. He is 2, and to start with, the terrible 2s were awful. But no, he's definitely got out of that now and is more cuddly and very much a mummy's boy. He wants his hugs, he wants his attention, he wants me to pick him up and give him a big one, as in a big cuddle, which I haven't been able to do for the last 2 weeks. So I'm really looking forward to being able to lift him properly and comfortably again. Next question. Do your children love each other or do they fight? Well, as I said, they do love each other. If you ask Bear who his best friend is, he will openly admit that it's his sister. Aria is his best friend, which I was a bit disappointed about because when I first asked him that question, I thought it was going to say me, and that just didn't happen, unfortunately. So yes, they do love each other, and they are very, very close. Of course, they are close in age. There's less than 2 years between them. Which I would recommend for anyone, to be honest. It is hard when they become toddlers. It's easy when you've got a toddler and a newborn, but when you've got 2 toddlers, that just is a whole nother ball game. But yeah, no, I love my children dearly. They do fight, as I say, over toys. If they've not got one thing each, and there's only one thing, they will fight over that one thing, and the other will want what the other has. But I think that's the same with any child. They'll share brilliantly with other people's kids, with their cousins, with their nursery and school friends. But when it comes to each other, it's like there's no tolerance whatsoever. What would you do with £1 million? Build a house for me and my mum where we could have like a big, huge house, but have separate wings. So we're still living together like we are, but have more space. I think that would be a big dream for us. I would definitely give some to my grandparents, my nanny and granddad, and my granddad and granddad, and to my sister. I'd buy my sister a home. Donate some to various charities that are close to me, such as the Crohn's and Colitis UK, and there's a tumour one as well that I would donate to. But I suppose I should say invest it for the children's futures, but I would say building us a home and having it all done and paid for is an investment for their future, because it's somewhere they can grow up when they're older. But I've got to admit, I'd probably blow a good £3,000 just going shopping. I find that very, very easy. Just buying everything Primark has to offer, Topshop next, River Island. Oh my god, I would love to have £3,000 just to spend in River Island on me and the kids and Rhys. But yeah, I would love that. Oh, going back to the one thing people don't know about you, I've just seen a magpie and instantly I go to salute the magpie, because apparently if you don't, it's bad luck. So that's something not many people will know about me. What other things don't people know? Everyone knows I enjoy to sing and dance. I'm actually not bad at baking. I am a terrible cook. Oh my! I literally only have a kitchen, as my mother would say, because it comes with the house. I hate cooking. Cooking meals is not my thing, but when it comes to baking, I've always loved baking. I kind of fell out of love with it a lot for a long while, but then recently I've got back into baking, so I'm quite good at baking. Not too bad at that. I love drawing and colouring and arts and crafts and painting. Anything creative, building and painting, anything like that, I love. Like all this Christmas crafting. Oh, I'm in my element. We actually made a Santa Claus advent where you've got his face and then you have to stick on cotton wool balls to make his beard, and then when the last ball is there, Santa will come that night. So when the last puff of white is there, Santa will be here soon or something like that. I can't remember what it says, but yeah, Santa will come that night. All stuff like that I love. Other than the magpie salute, I can't help myself. I just have to do it. I'm quite superstitious in that way. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. So thank you for watching. I've been Naomi and this is my channel. Bye guys.